Hello, bringing you Tuesday Tech Tips on Wednesday. There's a good reason for that. My dear old dad had some surgery yesterday. Shout out to Dad. Today is a day of rest and recovery. And what we're going to talk about today is using iOS 10 messages, using GIFs and stickers to spruce up and spice up the messages. Last week I did a video where we used the bubble effects and the screen effects to make the actual segments of the text more fun and the screen of the text more fun. This week I want to talk about how to put in GIFs and how to use stickers and navigate back and forth. It's a little confusing if you're not quite used to the new little icons and cues that you're going to get in iOS messages. Also want to chat a little bit about the Google Pixel and Pixel XL. And then I did class last week on Safari on the iPhone, which was so much fun. And we had some really fun and good tips that I wanted to just point out and pass on just so that you get kind of a little flavor of what I do in the classes. Also, I want to give a shout out to the seniors at the Culver City Senior Center. I did a 6-week session on 1Password, which was the most difficult class I have ever taught, because 1Password is not an intuitive app. It's my password management app of choice. However, using an app like 1Password, while I do recommend it and it's a learning curve that I think is necessary to take, it's hard. And I had 16 people in that class, which made it a little bit more complicated, and we were using computers, laptops, phones, and iPads. So I didn't feel like it made any sense to try to teach this if I taught it on one device, because the whole point of it is to use it in an integrated system. Anyway, it was a really tough class, and I want to just say kudos to those senior citizens that stuck with me and that endured that class. I will never teach that again in that kind of a setting. I do encourage you to use 1Password and to use it and learn it device by device. But the stuff that came out in the Safari class was really fun, so I'm going to go over that. Let's just start here by talking about messages. Messages looks a little different now, because when you're in the app, you actually have some options in terms of putting in things that we didn't have before, but they're not apparent or obvious unless you know where to look. So the first thing I want to tell you is that they're all hidden underneath this little gray arrow. If you look at that little gray arrow, when you touch it, you're going to get the 3 symbols to the left of the message box that I show on this slide. You're going to get the camera, which means you can take a picture, or you can insert a picture from your camera library, and that looks totally different too, because right there in the little preview, you get a preview of the camera, and you can actually take a picture right there, which I'm going to show next week, not today. The little heart with the 2 fingers on it is for digital touch. There are several different ways you can draw something, you can write something. You can tap it with 1 finger and get like a bullseye kind of thing. You can tap it twice to get kissy lips. You can tap it twice and hold your fingers to get a heart. And there are all sorts of colors that go with that. I'm not going to go over that today. I'm going to do that next week. And then you also have the app that should be a familiar looking app, the App Store icon. And that's that gray kind of oval with the A in it. That's where you get to the GIFs and stickers. When you touch the App Store icon, you're going to get the selection of menu items shown in the slide. The blue plus is the App Store, which I'm not going to do right now. That's where you get the stickers. Recents are any GIFs or stickers that you've used recently. And images are the GIFs. The little red circle, it looks like a tennis racket to me. Those are the GIFs. Music, if you have music on your phone, or it will take you to the App Store and you can send any song that you want right within text messaging. And then if you've downloaded any sticker packs, they're going to appear on this second row. You can see that I have on this slide the cat sticker pack. We're going to talk about GIFs right now, so let's touch the images section. And when you touch the images section, you get all the GIFs. You can search by category, you can search by content. Here on the slide I put princess, but you can search by dogs, cats, nature, basketball, anything you want. You touch the picture and you touch the blue arrow and then you send it. The tricky part comes after you've actually used something, because your screen may look something like this. And in the when you're on your phone or you're on your iPad, you're not quite sure how to get back or what to do. It's a little bit obscure if you're not cueing in on the icons that are there. So I have a little arrow here pointing towards the App Store, which will take you back to this menu here and list the recently used items, the GIFs, the music, and any sticker packs that you have. But if you notice also at the bottom, you're going to see these dots, and those dots always represent pages of things, other pages of things. So you actually could scroll right to left, and when you scroll right to left, you're going to go sticker pack by sticker pack, or you'll go GIFs to music to sticker pack to sticker pack to sticker pack. The little clock there in between the highlighted item and the first dark dot, let's see if I can scroll in on that, zoom in on that so you can see it a little better. This little clock right there is recently used items. So if you scroll left to right, you'll see all the recently used items. If you scroll right to left, you're going to just go page by page to sticker packs. Now, if you, let's see, once we go out of there, you're going to touch the store. And the store is, again, this blue icon right here that is a plus sign, and it says store underneath it. When you go to the store, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see, let me scroll back out so you can see the full page. You're going to see, hold on one second here, a kind of familiar looking page. And what it is, whoops, let's change that, okay. The first page represents the store homepage. That's like the Bloomingdale's window or any store window that you have. And you have a couple of icons on the top left, which is your search button. And you can see you're on the featured page because in the center of the top of the page it says featured. On the upper right corner it says done. Then you have 3 different segments that you can choose from: featured, categories, and manage. Manage allows you to download apps or include apps in messages that you have on your device that will work with messages. Or if you've downloaded, for instance, sticker packs on your phone and you're on your iPad or vice versa, and you want to use those, you can go to manage and turn them on or turn them off to use in messages. Let's, if you touch the categories section, the middle section is a list of things available for messages. This is the App Store as it relates to the Messages app only. So any apps that you see here are apps that are going to work in messages. I'm focusing on the stickers right here. So let's, and here I've got this arrow that is pointing towards stickers. And then in the sticker category on the far right, you've got all of these subdivisions within the stickers: animals and nature, cartoons and comics, eating and drinking, emoji and expressions, fashion, gaming, kids and family, places and objects. Have at it and peruse through those sections to find the kind of stickers that you want to use or that you're fond of. I have shown on the next page, I'm showing 3 of the sticker packs that are free that are made by Apple. And they are called Smileys, Classic Mac, and Hearts. Just for you to start. That cat sticker one that I downloaded and I showed on the menu page right here, this cat, that is also a free app, and I think those are called, that one's called cat stickers. So you can start with these sections, or these 3 packs here made by Apple, and the cat stickers, I'm not sure who they're made by, but if you go to cat stickers and you see this icon, you'll recognize it. Anyway, this is just for you to practice. You're going to touch Get, you're going to touch Install, and then you're going to go back, you're going to hit Done, where I have Search right here. You will have this screen and you're going to touch Done in the upper right corner. And this is what you're going to see now because you've downloaded these sticker packs. If you've activated any apps such as OpenTable or Maps or Evernote or anything else to work in Messages, you're going to see all of those apps here too. But I'm just talking about sticker packs right now. So once you see the sticker packs there, you can touch any sticker pack and you can go right to it and you can include that in one of your texts. You can see here on the far right, the Classic Mac sticker pack has a little blue dot. All that means is it was recently updated or it's been updated since I used it last. When you're using the sticker packs, what you want to do is understand that if you scroll up and down, you're going to see the entire list or menu of available stickers within that pack, up and down. You've got an arrow on the lower right that takes the sticker page to full screen. And then you don't have to scroll up and down. You can see which stickers, or sometimes in the sticker packs you may need to scroll up and down. It depends on how large the particular sticker pack is. If you don't use the arrow, you're just going to scroll up and down. If you do use the arrow, then you have to touch the X in the upper right corner so that you go back down so you can see your texting box. If you scroll right to left, you're going to go from one sticker pack to the next, assuming you have more than one. And on the example on the screen, you can see that there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of stickers or other things that can be used on this device. You get back to the main menu by touching these 4 dots. At any time, if you want to type putting in one of these, you're just going to touch up here where it says add comment or send, and the keyboard comes back. Then you can touch the blue arrow to send it. Very easy, very seamless, very fun. But I find that because the access to these are somewhat obscured in that gray arrow, and the navigation back and forth is a little tricky. If you aren't used to seeing it, you may get lost. So I just wanted to go over that. Okay, so next I wanted to talk about the Pixel, because the Pixel was introduced last week or the week before, and I haven't really spoken about it, and we've got the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 fiasco. If you are in the Galaxy world and you don't want to leave Samsung despite this rash of bad luck, giving them the benefit of the doubt, you have the option to go back to a Galaxy Note 5, or you can get the Galaxy 7 Edge, S-Edge I think it is. That's a great phone. It's not quite the same as the Galaxy Note 7. However, Samsung is trying to push out some of the features that people really liked on the Galaxy Note 7 onto the S-Edge, the 7 Edge. So if you are really a diehard Samsung phone person those are your options. If you're just fed up with the whole thing, you have two other options. You have a lot of options. If you want that level of phone, you can get an iPhone 7 and learn how to work with that. Or you can make the jump to Google Pixel. Let me show you here. I got Google Pixel. I want to show you the... these are the options in the Pixel. The Pixel comes in a 5-inch and a 5.7 inch. I waited to say anything about this because all of the reviews came out yesterday. And they're phenomenal. They're really great. It's not, it's got some downsides. It's Google's first adventure into the phone, manufacturing their own phone. And it's a very high-level phone. It's a very expensive phone, same price as the Galaxy Note 7, basically same price basically as the iPhone 7. Gives and takes. There are some pluses and minuses in terms of the operating system, the functionality of the software and things like that, just like there are some gives and takes on the Samsung device, and just like there are some gives and takes on the iPhone 7. So if you're an adventurer and you really want to try that phone, it's back ordered. It's not quite ready for prime time, but there are a ton of reviews that were released yesterday, and it is very competitive with the iPhone, not quite as refined, but you may like a lot of the features there if you're really into the Android area. Now, I've got a lot of people that do have PCs and iPads and Apple phones. If you are fine with that and you don't mind mixing the two devices, there's a lot of ways to work with that. It's absolutely very easily doable. But if you really are a die-hard Android person, a couple of things to think about on the Pixel is that the operating system, which is Nougat, and I don't know what the number is, but it's brand new, is being pushed out to Google, their devices first. So the Pixel is going to have it later in November, the Nexus is going to get it, and then the other devices that run the Chrome operating system will also get. But they're going to do their primary devices first as a way to try to drag people into, or pull people into their system. Now, if you're not a Google fan and if you're not wanting to jump on the very first manufacturer device by them, then there's still the HTC. There's some other lesser known, not quite as high a caliber as the Samsung Note or the iPhone or the Pixel, and you can just do your homework and look for that. Something to think about, because I've read about this on some of the tech journals, is that because of this fiasco, Samsung is trying to figure out what to do and trying to figure out to recoup from this incident. And so the thinking is that they may be pushing out the Galaxy Note 8 sooner, although if there are manufacturing problems with the batteries, which there seem to be, there now is some speculation that they're actually going to disband with the Note series at all and go back to the drawing board, or maybe not. So one of the things to think about is if you jump on board with the Pixel or the iPhone, and Google and Samsung releases a phone in March or April, doesn't wait till the fall, are you going to want to get it? If so, then you got to, you either are going to sell the device you've bought, which should be pretty new, so you shouldn't have too much trouble. But if you're on a renewable, 2-year renewable contract, you're not going to get any price break from your provider. So just think about that. Think it through before you decide to buy a new phone, if you want to go back to your old Galaxy Note 5, or just buy a lesser phone to get you through the next 3 to 4 months. You can always sell it. Always sell the device, and by that time it still should retain a lot of its value because it's going to be a new phone. Okay, The other thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today was Safari on the iPhone. My browser of choice is Chrome, but on the iPhone, there are a lot of advantages to using Safari because you've got a couple of things that you don't get in Chrome when you're looking at it on your mobile device. And the big thing is at the top. When you have a page loaded and the feature is available, the reader feature makes this page really, really easy to see. Here you can see I've got my website up here, and I've got the reader feature in the upper left corner, which is those lines right there. When I touch it, it changes the page to pure text, which is really great because it allows you to focus on the content, it allows you to read the article. You can change the font size on the page. You can change the style of font. If you have trouble seeing that font, if you're in a dark room and it's a white background and you want to change to white on black, you can do that. You can basically do whatever you want to make it more easily viewable for you. And you can scroll up and down, and when you're done, you can just go back there. Now, one of the things that people sometimes get confused about with Safari on the phone is that when you're on a mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a phone, and this is true for all mobile devices, the view of websites that you get is not the same view as you see on a desktop or a laptop. The view is changed for a mobile device to make it more viewable, more readable, more usable on a smaller screen with less real estate. Here what you see is you've got the reader icon in the upper left corner, and the menu icon on my website is in the upper right below the URL bar, the search icon, the refresh icon, and the reader bar. When you can see this black line. Let me see if I can scroll in on it. Whoops, wrong thing. You can see the black line that divides the URL bar right here. I'm going to use my cursor. Hopefully you can see that. You can see the black line that divides the top section, which is not actually the page of the website. It's the website address and the reader bar. And below that black line is the actual contents of the website. Now here, the menu is bold. Those three lines are a universal icon for a menu, and it's on the right side. But if you look at this website, let's see if I can get it here. Where is that website? That's not what I want. No. I want to see. I thought I had it loaded in here, so give me a moment, because this gives you a better view. This is where people get confused. This is a website called thestreet.com, and what you see here in the upper left corner is the menu for this website. Now, I am not on a page that can be viewed in the reader with the reader view. I'm on the front page, which is basically just a listing of all the articles that you have. If I touch any one of these articles, and hopefully this is an article, you can see that in the upper left, now I've got the reader icon, and beneath that, beneath the gray line, I've got the menu. Those are two different things. Again, if I touch the menu on the website, it's going to give me the page navigation for the website. If I touch the reader icon, it's going to give me this clear reading view for Safari so that I can read that article without any distractions or problems. You got the same options no matter what. This little icon in the upper right with the arrow that is pointing to the right but not in a closed circle is the refresh icon. That allows you to refresh the page should you experience any problems with the page loading. Say you're in a bad coverage area, your Wi-Fi is not great, or for whatever reason the page didn't load, you're going to touch refresh to reload it, and then you should be fine. Okay, so that's it for Tuesday Tech Tips on Wednesday. I appreciate you being here. I, as always, am very grateful to have you listening and looking. If this speaks to you, if this video is helpful to you, I would really appreciate you putting a like on it. I would really appreciate you sharing it. I'm not good at saying these things, but it really helps me and helps me to get my content to you and to other people. So please like, share, comment. Any comments, any questions are really appreciated. All right, that's it. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.